Pod, where we talk about all things life and relationships and tie it back to faith. I'm Alyssa.
And I'm Sam.
And today we are going to talk about some spring cleaning for your soul. Let's get into it. Alright. We are back with another episode. This is episode 17, which is my lucky number. And we're excited. Yeah, we're still doing this podcast thing.
Time for some spring cleaning.
And this is inspired out of our lack of spring cleaning physically right now.
We hope by explaining to you guys about spring cleaning that we'll begin doing it ourselves.
I know. I think I've been feeling a little undermotivated for that. But I don't know. There's been a lot going on. Like, we have a lot of basketball to watch. We've been playing basketball. Yeah, which is tragic if you know anything about how I play basketball.
Alyssa has embarked on her dual sport athlete arc of transitioning from volleyball to basketball.
Well, now I play basketball and pickleball.
Yeah, tell me about that, Alyssa. How has your basketball journey how's it gone? You just scored your first basket.
I did. I scored my first basket. It was great. I felt like I was on top of the world, but it was the only contribution I had to the game. But I did play all 40 minutes, which was... wow, for someone who doesn't work out anymore, that was like... it was crazy. But I'm glad we're doing it because it's fun. And I feel like, being a basketball athlete now, like I am... when I watch basketball, I've just got this new understanding of the game.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Well, it shows. You're playing fantastic.
Oh, thank you.
Anyways, back to the episode of spring cleaning. Alyssa, what does spring cleaning mean to you?
Well, we're talking about it in the context of spring cleaning your soul, right? So we talk about the normal spring cleaning, which is like you're cleaning out the inside of your windows, your car, like the random things that don't typically get cleaned in your like day to day, week to week, month to month cleaning. Like you're cleaning the weird stuff, right? Like the stuff, like, because it's springtime, everything's reborn. It's like you can open up the windows and air out your apartment without your electric bill going up $100. Like, it's great. It's a great time. I feel like there's a new wave of, like, productivity that sparks with spring. And honestly, we decided on this episode thinking it was spring, and then it snowed like 8 inches. Yeah, 2 days ago, 3 days ago.
It was 50 and sunny all week, and then we got hit with a 2-day snowstorm, and then it was all cold and bad again. But now we're recording this and things are starting to turn around and the last of the snow is melting. So I think we can truly call it some spring cleaning now.
But I don't know. I feel like I've fallen for spring like 4 times. Like this is like third spring that I just fell for. Like we had first spring and I was like, okay, I'm not falling for this. This is full spring. And then second spring came around and I kind of got my hopes up. I was like, easy winter. Then third spring comes along and I'm like, this is definitely spring. Like, no shot. It's already April, it's spring. Snowstorm. So let's just say I've been fooled one too many times, and it's honestly kind of embarrassing at this point, but I'm very hesitant to say that this is spring, but I think this is spring, which, there you go, our spring cleaning episode. But we wanted to keep it more soul-focused, and there's a few things I think we do when it comes to spring cleaning our own souls. So we're just going to kind of casually chat about that and what that looks like for us. And maybe it'll inspire you, maybe it won't. You know what? We would love to hear from you and be inspired by you. So yeah, after the episode, if you've got any spring cleaning tips, whether they're physical, which we probably need help with too, or spiritual, we would love to hear them. So definitely hit us up on Instagram or in the Q&A on Spotify. I'm not sure if Apple Podcasts have one. But anyways, Sam, do you want to start?
Yeah, I mean, personally, some of the spiritual spring cleaning I'm looking to do is just focus on my own personal health and make those little habits throughout the day all kind of lead towards something more. As a lot of people know, health, diet, eating, all of that, it is a long, drawn-out battle, if you do say, of really small decisions that add up over a long period of time. And part of that is getting in the right mindset and just getting ready to do the little things. You couple that with exercise and boom, you're hitting your physical goals that you're looking to get. So a bit of my spring cleaning is to kind of declutter my schedule, make sure that I set aside time and plan to make sure that I'm meeting these needs. And whether that's scheduling a few days a week to go exercise or intentionally planning out my meals ahead of time so I'm not scrambling and maybe door dashing or getting something, that's not the best decision. Just cleaning up my schedule and my mindset to just attack the spring and go through the summer on a positive note and do the right things. So I guess that's how I kind of interpret the spring cleaning spiritually, is just trying to empty out the thoughts out of my head and organize them so I can approach it with some thought.
Yeah, I get what you mean. I feel like towards the end of this winter, I've really gotten away from exercising regularly, and it's definitely had an impact on like my mindset and on my mental health. Like, I need exercise so badly, like, to be a functioning human being in society. And we were just talking about this today, how we need to like force each other to go to the gym more. And it's not even like we need to like get that summer bod, because that's not what it's about. We'll be in an office from 9 to 5 this summer, so no one's going to be seeing our summer bods. It's about mental health, really, and spiritual health, because when you take care of the physical, it gives space for the mental to be taken care of. I feel like the physical is what you kind of have to take care of first, because if you're not comfortable in like the body that you exist in, like, how are you going to do anything else?
As someone who was very overweight at one point, you can't even begin to think about these other things if the only thing on your mind is how you feel physically. And
I don't even feel out of shape or anything, but I don't feel in shape. I think I just feel very neutral, because I worked out like a maniac the whole fall, and then I'm a burnt out college athlete of 5 years, so I took a decent break, but I think it's time for me to get back on the horse.
It's time.
It's time, and I don't even know what that's going to look like. I gotta start. I've been staying active with like pickleball and basketball, but not really any other type of exercise that I like. I love lifting, so
maybe that's part of the spring cleaning you have to do.
Get back into lifting, yeah. I think that would be good. But I don't know, for me, spring cleaning, I feel like I need to get back into the Word more. Like, read my Bible. I feel like, when I was traveling, I was reading my Bible a ton, just because I had so much downtime. Like, whether it was a hour-long bus ride or a 10-hour flight or a 4-hour train ride, like, downtime was just hitting me in the face, where you're in a foreign country, I'm using my cell provider because I didn't buy an eSIM, and my data ran out on three days into the trip, so, like, I need pristine Wi-Fi or my phone's not doing anything over there, right? So, like, I had literally nothing to do other than read my Bible, which was great, because I finished the Old Testament and finished all the Gospels, which was awesome. And I'm doing the Bible in a year plan. I don't know if I've mentioned that on here, but I've got till June to read the whole Bible, and I'm in Acts right now. So I definitely need to get back into the Word. 1, if I'm going to complete that goal, and 2, just to feed my spiritual, because I'm such a different person when I'm not in the Word, like, every day. It shows in my mindset, and I've been saying lately, like, I've been in a funk, and I think it's because of Third Spring getting taken from me, and from all of us New Hampshire folk.
Think about that, how you said how much happier you were when you were in the Word so much more often. think about all those little downtime moments throughout the day where you might hop on Instagram or a Reddit post, and even if it's just 5 minutes trying to...
calling me out right now?
Yes, I am. And if it's one of those little downtime moments, what if instead of opening Instagram for 5 minutes, you're opening the Bible app for 5 minutes? You read a verse, you read a page. How much different does your mental space feel throughout the day? And I think that could be a pretty good spring cleaning exercise, because I'm guilty of it. I'll be like, 10 free minutes, time to go scroll Twitter. 10 free minutes, time to go do something else. What if those downtime minutes where you spend occupying with media or something else, what if that was spent in the Bible? What if that was spent reading scripture?
I would probably already be done my Bible in a year. And by already be done, I mean finished it in a month. So Twice, yeah. So, yeah, I think that's a great idea, especially, like, downtimes throughout my day when I'm in class or whatever. Like, there is so much downtime in class. Like, you can only play Wordle variations so many times before you're, like, ready to get up and walk out. But, like... yeah, I'm definitely going to start doing that this week, I think. And this week I also kind of want to get my butt in the gym, because it's about time. And then also, when you look at spring cleaning, Sam, like we talked about this today, like, before we went to church, I was, like, slowly getting ready, and you were, like, running around, like, cleaning up. I was like, are you alright? Like, what are you doing? And you were like, I just need things to be tidy for my head to be right. I was like, that's a really good point, you know, like, I feel like I get task paralysis when things are messy. Like, when the living space you have doesn't feel right because things are out of place, or maybe you probably should have taken the trash out yesterday and it's still overflowing and staring at you in the face kind of thing. Or, I don't know, you got clothes on that one chair pile of clothes.
Melissa's just looking around our living room right now and just pointing things out.
True, because even though we tidied today, it's still a mess because we're terrible. But that can also give you space to have that spring cleaning for your soul, because I feel like taking care of your physical environment, just like taking care of your physical body, is taking care of your soul.
Amen to that.
Yeah. Anything else you can think of for spring cleaning for the soul?
I don't have too much more. I definitely think, I approached it from I want to do this so I can overall better my mental and physical health. Mm-hmm. And you did the same thing from a more spiritual side. And I think that's the best way to approach it, is a bit of both. Because if you're not taking care of everything involved, it's just going to hurt. You need to be in a healthy environment, both physically and mentally. And I think trying to approach it and declutter both the physical and mental are the best ways to spring clean your spiritual health and get ready for the year.
Yeah, I think also kind of tapping into your prayer life a bit too, because I don't know about y'all, but like when things start to go not so great for me, when I reflect back on that, I'm like, okay, what was going on behind the scenes when my life wasn't going super great? My prayer life disintegrated, my Bible reading disintegrated, my physical health wasn't great, and I was making decisions to satisfy my short term opposed to my long term. And so I feel like we've kind of addressed all of those except for prayer, but I do feel like, as of late, like I said, I feel like I've been in a funk, and I feel like my prayer life has reflected that funk, because like we pray together every night, but for me lately that's been like almost it sometimes. Like I try to do the whole live your day in prayer thing, but there's been a couple days where that's been the only prayer I've said at night, and it shows in my life when I neglect my relationship with God. It's like a dark storm, a dark cloud, like, comes out onto my life. And I don't think that's necessarily God causing it, but, like, who are we without God?
It's not God causing it. It's you trying
me
to live
causing
without and wondering why it's so...
And it's not even me stepping away. It's me being like, oh, I'll get to that. Oh, I'll pray later. I'm busy right now. When me being busy right now is like me doing absolutely nothing more important than praying, because nothing's really more important than that. And every time I make an excuse, I know deep down that it's wrong, so then it just like adds fuel to the dark cloud. And the dark cloud, it doesn't just go away from one nighttime prayer. Like, you kind of have to pray the dark cloud away. Like, I feel like when a lot of Christians go through this, like, kind of wave of like, oh, I'm on fire for God, and then life gets busy, and like, you slowly start to slip away, and like, it's not even that you're trying to run away from God, it's just that life happens and you don't make it a priority anymore because this is more important, or I'm busy here, or yada yada yada, whatever it is. Like, this week, I didn't even remember to schedule my Bible study with my teammates because like my head was just like off in La La Land, and we didn't have it, and that's because I wasn't making God a priority in my life this week, and it shows. It's like things in your life don't go as well when you don't make God the number one thing that you're chasing. And that's what we're encouraging y'all to do with the spring cleaning for your soul. And it's what we're encouraging ourselves to do, because, I don't know, Sam's nickname in our Bible study is Shalom, because he's so peaceful and just has, you know, it all going on all the time. But, like, for the rest of us scrubs out there, like me, I feel like I need to be called out on this type of stuff, because I can just get in such, like, a routine of, like, okay, wake up, drink a Celsius, go to class, eat lunch, do homework, play Fortnite, go to sleep. Repeat. And, like, that's just my day. And all the little moments, like you were talking about, that I used to fill with Christ, I used to fill with prayer, are just neglected and are given over for something like Instagram or Reddit, or literally just staring at a wall. Because sometimes that's what I do during my day. I literally just stare at a wall because I'll get in a little funk. So, I don't know, that was kind of a long-winded rant, but I started getting passionate there, so I just kind of kept going. Hope that's okay.
That is more than fine. And I find that, so I love the nickname they gave me at Bible Study, Shalom. And I want to attest that to the fact that the first 24 years of my life, it wasn't like that because I didn't have a faith life. So you said it yourself, as Christians, going in kind of those waves of being on fire for God and distancing a little bit and being a little further away and struggling. For 24 years, it was a constant struggle that I didn't even know I was fighting. So when that switch finally did flick, it did give me this giant sense of peace that I can genuinely say I had never felt before in my life, which is why it's definitely been easier for me to kind of keep at the forefront of my mind a lot of the time, because it's like, I remember living without this sense of peace in my mind. I don't want to do anything to ever get rid of this peace. So since that, it's been a little over a year now, officially, since I was saved. And
cheers. Cheers
is right. And that sense of peace has been on the forefront of my mind since. And it's funny because I was saved on March 31st, and Alyssa was not near. She was in South Carolina, and she actually came back the next day. So when I told her...
It was April Fool's!
It was April 1st, and I didn't even think of the day, but I was genuinely like, Alyssa, I was saved. This is amazing. I want to tell you about... And the whole time she's like, this is such a sick joke. Why are you doing this?
I thought it was the cruelest prank he had ever prayed on me ever, because, like, behind the scenes, I had been praying for this man to meet Jesus and to, like, find God. And on April Fool's Day, he's gonna pick me up from the airport and be like, hey, like, I believe in Jesus. Like, I asked him to come into my heart. Like, is this some sort of sick prank? Like, what is wrong with you? He's like, no, I mean it. What do you mean? Oh my gosh, it's April Fool's Day.
I didn't even know it was April Fool's Day. But that was all you were thinking, and it took days of convincing.
It did.
Alyssa, I swear, it's not April Fool's anymore. I mean it.
I know, and then you were telling me, you were like, because we really just had this conversation recently, and you were like, you weren't really excited when I told you that I was, like, that I was a believer. And I was like, well, yeah, because you told me on April Fool's Day. So, like, of course I didn't believe you. Like, I have known you for 4 years, and you're going to tell me on April Fool's Day that you're a Christian? Like...
In hindsight, I see where it could have been misconstrued, but
But you meant it.
Didn't even realize it was April Fool's Day.
He's still living out this April Fool's Day prank over a year later.
Yeah, I'm committed to the bit.
He's so committed, we started a podcast about faith. Like, this is crazy.
If anyone knows how committed I am to things, Bill knows. That's an inside joke, but that's okay.
Well, anyways, do you have any final thoughts on spring cleaning your soul?
That pretty much wraps up all my thoughts on spring cleaning.
I think I have one more thing. We talked about, like, little fasts and things you can do, and I feel like fasting doesn't always have to be in the context of food. Like, you can fast from many things. Like, those who know me know I fast from social media, like, all the time because I'm chronically addicted to it, so I have to go cold turkey or else, like I can't do moderation. But, like, if you feel like there's something in your life that has become a priority over God outside of, like things that are exceptions, I'm not even going to name any, but, like we're reasonable people, right? But if you feel like you've got something in your life, be it social media, be it partying, be it whatever, that you feel like or video games even, has taken that place of God in your life to where it's impacting your relationship with Him, we encourage you to explore fasting from it for, like, maybe a day or maybe 3 days or a week and see how it goes. I think I need to do that with social media.
And to add on top of that, replace it with reading scripture.
Yeah. Like, the whole point of the fast is to give you time with God that you did not have because of the thing you were fasting from.
If it's social media, replace social media with the Bible app. If it's something else, replace it with the Bible.
If you've got 5 hours scrolling Instagram or scrolling Reddit or scrolling Facebook or whatever, replace that 5 hours with reading the Bible. Because you literally have the time for it in your day. Like, if I look at my screen time and it's like, you spent 2 hours on Instagram today, I'm like, wow. If I just delete the app, I could spend 2 hours reading the Bible. Or I could spend 2 hours cleaning the apartment. Like, time is so precious and so valuable, and I think, like, I haven't fasted from things since, like, the winter, since, like, winter break, and I think it's time again, because, I mean, I wouldn't call it a fast over Lent. My Lenten fast wasn't really a thing. It was more like a commitment, but...
You heard it here. Alyssa is starting her social media fast today, and she is going to
aside from my 2 trees and a pod commitments.
She is going to replace every second on Instagram with the Bible app, and next week we'll let you know how that goes.
We'll see about that. But I don't know, maybe I'll, like, start doing my homework at, like, reasonable times of the day. Who knows? Who knows what I'm missing out on because of my social media addiction? We'll see. I mean, I know, because I fast from social media all the time, and every time I fast from it, I'm like, wow, this is what life's like when I'm not Hunchback of Notre Dame in a corner on my couch looking at reels for 2 hours when I get home from class to, quote, decompress. I think I don't need to decompress for that long. But sometimes it feels like I need that long, you know?
Understand.
But I bet the Bible is a better tool to decompress with than reels. Because
I think God would agree.
Like, imagine if I spent that time reading the Psalms, how much peace I would feel compared to doom-scrolling Reddit. Like, looking into eclipse theories. Like, that's nightmare fuel, and it's not beneficial to my spiritual health. So, it's time to spring clean it, guys.
Time to spring clean.
So, closing.
I think that pretty much wraps it up. What are we talking about next week?
That's a really good question. Let's figure that out next week.
Awesome. You guys get a surprise episode next week.
Surprise episode, yeah. Well, we want to thank you for joining us this week, and I hope you like our more relaxed version of recording. We kind of want it to feel like you're sitting down with us on the couch, just having a conversation, and nothing too formal or scripted. So next time, not really sure what we'll be talking about, but you can guess it's probably going to be about faith, and we really hope that you feel inspired from this little chat, and that you might pick something to fast from, or pick something new to do in your free time, like work out, or whatever you feel like you've been lacking in your life, whatever you feel like God's been convicting you of. We hope you feel inspired to take that next step after this episode. And we hope you have a really great week. Stay blessed, and see